this is how it's supposed to be. And so I was like, okay, let's just do something different. And I just set it up and was like, let's just roll with it. So, you know.
I mean, it worked out because it gave a different look.
And then people online kept talking about the couch being featured in other videos. So I was like, hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Kingz and Konversation. I'm Mike.
I'm Enrique.
And we have another special guest like we promised y'all that we were going to keep it popping. We have Mr. Liam here. I don't know if we can say your last name. Can we say your last name?
Yeah, sure. It's Caldwell everything. Liam Caldwell.
All right, because some people just like their first name, put out there. But he is a wonderful writer and producer and a director of many different projects. And we're so excited to be able to talk about his most recent project that is popping on the internet. Take a look.
Dallas Lux, this is my baby Samir, the love of my life.
So this thing is that you were talking about.
Yeah. Fuck out of here.
Babe, I was playing along to get along. Shit, let's play.
Well, listen, welcome to Kingz and Konversation. I'm so excited that you're here, and I appreciate you being here. One of the things that I've committed to being is as transparent as possible, and I will say this, that this is a little bit different. You and I, we have a mutual connection, and your best friend happens to be my ex. And so for you to be here today means a lot to me, because so many times when people go through different situations in life, it's so easy to put the emotions of that situation ahead of everything else. So the fact that you're here today means a lot to me, and I'm extremely grateful. I know, right? And so we're going to talk about your projects. I do want to say this. I've known you probably now for like 3 years. And the first time I ever saw any of your work, I remember we were on a cabin trip and you had your iPad. And at the time, Terrence was like, yo, you need to see this, you need to see this, you need to see this. And you had an opportunity to show me your project that you were doing at that time. And I remember I was so amazed about how good the project was, because I'm so used to seeing like put together shit, and that's no reflection on nobody, just everybody doesn't have the skill. And I remember just watching how professional that was. I remember how that short clip, not film, how it spoke volumes to me, how it kind of touched my heart. And so I was just really, really excited when we had the opportunity, when I saw you in the gym, and I was like, hey, I heard a lot of good things about your new show coming out, and I wanted to make sure that you can come on the show. And Terrence, I told him to make sure you was okay with that. But I'm glad that you're here, and I'm looking forward to this conversation. So,
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Jeez, that's a lot. Okay, but now seriously. So I have I'm just meeting Liam as like 2 months now, and I got a phone call from someone that said you need to be on this project, and so I reached out to Liam. I auditioned for him, so it's not this project, but the project after this one that I'll be on. But getting to know him, I love a person who loves what they do. I love a person who is passionate about what they do, and that is what this young man exudes. Like, from every detail, from the conversations, from the communication, he is always, now he's a bit airhead, sometimes. He's an airhead. He's a blonde. No, he has like.
I've never seen it.
No,
so
I haven't
seen it either.
He has like this reserved, and I haven't told you that because I said him being an introvert and being reserved, and it gives you this shy little boy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he gives you.
Yeah, definitely that.
But I actually love him to pieces.
Until he turns up.
Oh, see, I ain't saying you turn up yet.
No, you have to. No, I'm gonna tell you. I'm about to tell it. We were all in Vegas one time, and I remember. And any time when him and Terrence get together, they love. There's certain songs that'll come on. As soon as they turn them songs on, everybody has to clear the floor. They are out there killing it. So, yeah, he definitely has a side where he turns
I
up.
wonder if production can pull up one of those songs.
I have the video, so I will definitely make sure it's still in my phone.
And watch this clip.
It is still in my phone. So yeah, so welcome, man. So tell us a little bit about you. Tell us about how you got started and your story that brought you up to this point.
Okay, so it was so interesting because I was thinking back, like, when did all of this actually start? And I remember being in high school, and I was creating these like real short writing these little short stories, and I remember passing them around to the other students, and they would read them and like, oh my God, when's your next one? When's your next one? When's your next one?
Wow.
I literally was in I remember I was a freshman in high school, and I just created these stories. I used to love writing horror stuff, and I used to like writing a lot of sexual stuff. And so I was writing this stuff in, and I'll never forget it. I wrote this one, and it was, I don't even remember what it was about, but I know that it was highly sexual. And one of the teachers got it.
Oh,
and
shit.
she read it. And she passed it on to other teachers too. I never forget it. And truth is that I am friends today with those teachers.
Wow.
They bring it back to me. Do you remember when you used to pass around those stories? Like, I've always loved telling stories for some strange reason, but they told me then, you have a gift. Like, you are a really great storyteller. And so as I've transitioned and got older, and I was just like, well, someone said you should write a book. And, and I was like, well, all right, cool. So I'm writing this book about my life and this, that, and the third. And then someone says, well, who knows you? And why would I want to buy this book? So they told me that I should create a fake book first. Like, not a memoir, not about you, but about someone else's life or whatever.
Tell a story.
Tell another story. Put it out there, get the feedback, then make people know who you are, and then go from there. And so I created Boy Pull Your Pants Up. And it was, again, highly sexual. It was a book of short stories that dealt with STI, HIV, prevention, awareness, and education. I did some research. I've gone and talked to a lot of, at the health department, and talking to some counselors and things like that, to be able to tell these stories in such a creative way that you don't even realize that you're that they're talking about this, because you're so caught up in the story and what's going on in the story. And so I took that and then turned it into a play.
Wow.
And then from the play, I created the web series.
Wow.
And from there on, I've just been I fell in love with film and web series, and I fell in love with it. And that's pretty much where the transition, how I was transitioned into doing film work.
Wow, that is awesome. Well, again, your work is great. I've never, I haven't seen a bad project yet. So we'll talk about your most recent one. But I've not seen anything from you that has not been excellent. So
thank you. I appreciate that. So I started with my first web series was the Boy Pull Your Pants Up web series, and I transitioned into and I was paying for that out of pocket. Like indie workers, we have to pay for, because we don't know how to do that other than tell a story or direct, or there's a lane that you have to be in. And so I went from, and I had a videographer, because I actually started my production company through doing fashion shows. I was directing and producing fashion shows. I did photography, and then I got into the writing, and so I did a little bit of everything. But once I got to the place of filming and working with the videographer that was like filming my fashion shows and stuff like that, he filmed like my visions, and I was like, oh, now this is what I'm talking about, right? And so I did Boy Pull Your Pants Up, then I did the second one was Horism, and then I went from Horism, and then I ran out of money. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. So then I was like, after years of watching him film and being behind him and sitting at the editing table, I decided let me just try this on my own. Wow. So I brought a camera, and I just started trial and error, and I created Willology, which was my first project that I did by myself. I edited, I filmed, I did everything. And I was super proud of that project just because of I grew in it. Like, I made mistakes, and the subscribers would call me out on my
they always do.
No, listen, I love them. I love reading the comments, and listen, I do realize that a lot of times in comments they say some negative things, but you have to know how to eat the meat and throw away the bones. Right? Like, not everybody's gonna have something positive to say, but then there's a lot of people that says negative things, and it's teachable moments.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I can learn from this. Right. Especially if it's not something that I picked up on, or that I knew that I was doing that was wrong, like the lighting or the sound or whatever. Like, and when you're doing this by yourself with no team, no nothing, it's just like, I can't afford this. Like, how can I make this work? How can I get, And so that's what Willology has taught me. And then from there, I've just been learning and growing all along. And that brings me to, I've done a plethora of short films in between that. And then I started doing limited series. So I created one called Addicted to You, which was about all types of addiction. And it was about what does it look like when addiction spirals out of control. So everything took place right in the middle of everybody's situation, right? It didn't build up, it just right smack dab in the middle. And then what does it look like when it spirals out of control? And at the end of it, the only person that did not spiral out of control is the one who seeked counsel.
That's right.
So I did that, and then I decided to redo Marry Kill. So Marry Kill was a project that I did in the past. I had to shut down production over some issues with cast members and whatnot, and so after that, I just decided to recast it, and we're better to cast it, but here in Atlanta. Which is, to me, as I've done getting here and realizing, like, one, I thought I was a filmmaker, but they call them content creators here. That's the title. So I guess that's what I am, a content creator. Which is, I'm cool with that. And then filming here was just a different experience. working with very, very professional actors that are serious about their craft. And not saying that the ones I've worked with have not been, because I love working with novices. I love working with people that did not have experience to give them that opportunity and that platform. So working with actors that actually have something under their belt was really refreshing, if you will. But this is like, Atlanta's like the Hollywood of web series, and reality, web-based reality shows and things of that nature. So I was like, so the intimidation came on a little bit, and like, am I good enough, and can I do this? But I had to sit and think about, like, you are good enough, and you do have some shit under your belt, and it's time to show these people what you're made of. So. Here I am.
I love it.
I'm sorry. And listening to the stories, I get caught up because it's like, okay, now I know your story because we've never had the conversation per se. But are we gonna fast forward and go to Fukc, Marry, Kill, or?
Are we gonna talk about whatever you're about to say?
I had nothing to say. I was still in
okay. Well, I will say this. One of the reasons why I really felt like it was important for you to come on this particular platform. And I want to say this is because your best friend helped to build this platform. And at the end of the day, whatever God allows us to work through in the future, he is a great actor, but he was a great component of building this brand. And he may not be here, but I want you to know that his work is honored. And he's always been a great actor. I don't know about his early days, but I just know now he's been a great actor, and he worked hard with me to build this channel. And days when I didn't want to build it, he was willing to work to build it. So thank you. And it's Fukc. Okay.
Yeah.
So why was that?
Yeah,
Why?
Yeah.
Why not?
I thought it was cute.
Thank you. That's why.
it's eye-catching.
Yeah, all of the projects that I do, I always do a spin or some type of, wordplay. It's just who I am. I have quite a few projects coming up, and even with each project, I spell it differently, or there's a meaning behind it, or something like that. So, Marry, Kill was really just have you ever played the game?
That's a game.
It's a game.
It is a game.
And so it was a playoff of the game. I like the title.
You've never played the game?
No, I never even knew it was a game.
I got in trouble playing the game, so yeah.
I've never even played Truth or Dare, so.
Oh God. Okay.
I'm so serious.
Okay. So let me give you an example of what we're talking about, just so that you can kind of get an idea, right? So if I say Idris Elba, and then you have to say Marry or Kill. So Idris Elba, which one would you do? Exactly. Now you understand why I got in trouble. All right, go ahead.
Because that is like my.
I know. That's why I said it the way I did.
I don't think Kill would be in the equation to help you out.
Exactly.
Okay, but now I get it because they used to put a post like that.
Exactly.
Okay, now I didn't.
Exactly.
Right, and then not to be very to be derogatory or and being able to post it and things of that nature. I just changed the spelling of it, just like French Connection changed their spelling just to represent the the brand. So I changed it to Fukc. Yep.
So the storyline of this particular web series is very intriguing to me.
Me too.
Mainly because I've been there. I've been there. The hanging out never happened, but it was suggested. But I've been there to where there was that person that went away and then came. But yeah, so I was like, wow, like okay. Don't know if I'm gonna be watching this with the mister. But actually, he stops me like, isn't it Wednesday? I'm like, yeah. So we watch it together on TV. But yeah, I told you that because I was thinking about the ring thing. It's actually a good series. I'm loving it so far because the cliffhanger at the end of every episode, you're sitting there like, God damn it, it's going off. I'm so serious. So I particularly absolutely love it.
Thank you. Thank you very
I
much.
can't speak for Mike but I know he gonna speak. No, I'm just kidding.
I do.
No, you told me.
Because if I didn't like it, I would have found some peace in telling you that I didn't like it, but I actually do, and I watch it when I'm in the gym.
On the treadmill.
But it helps me, and I just have so many questions because I know you, and I need to know like where the inspiration for these characters came from now, not back when you did it before. I'm talking about now, because I see so many relatable things. So I'm just like, what we trying to say, Will? What we doing here? Because there is a scene coming up that is very reminiscent of a scene that we lived out. So I'm just trying to figure out like what part of this has always been there, what parts have been kind of injected, and like what was the inspiration behind it.
So I'm glad you asked that. So actually, I'm all about doing relatable content. That is what I've always done. I actually branched out for my next project that's coming out in February. That I did something I've never done before, which was, I don't even know what to call it. But I normally always do content that is relatable to people, and everything inspires me. Everything and everybody, right? And so if you're close to me, you become material. I say this to anybody that I date. Have you ever dated a writer? That's what I ask. Have you ever dated a writer? And they tell me, no, I've never done it. And I was like, well, just know that, you know,
will end up,
you can become material.
Right.
It's just like a comedian.
Right, or even a preacher.
Like
Even because we preach on, not we anymore, but we preach on, you know, whatever
situations that are going on, or things that people are dealing with. And you can infuse that to help create and tell a story that maybe someone else is dealing with or going through.
That's what songwriters do.
Huh?
Songwriters do the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So I really, you know, I've gone through a lot of things, and this is my own, where it may come off as, because I think I remember the situation you're speaking of, but where it may come off as such, because that's your situation, it was mine too.
Right, which yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So because it was my situation, I decided to write about it. The thought came about, you know, yes, do my best friend inspire me? Absolutely. Do situations that he's dealing with or go through.
I was not expecting you to tell the truth. I'm honest to God.
Oh.
I was not expecting you to be honest.
Listen, I'm very transparent. You already know it's conversation, right? So we're having it. And I am not going to sit here and lie about anything. Like, at the end of the day, I do get inspiration. And it's where you may think that the polyamorous relationship, because that's what this piece is about.
Right.
This show is about polyamory.
Which kind of blows my mind that Terrence is so good in this, because he and I have had this conversation, no lie, almost a million times. No, not a million, but quite a bit. But to see him be able to do this now, it's like,
so it's not about, but you gotta understand, it's not about him. He is an amazing actor in this piece.
Right.
People have asked me before, have I ever been in a polyamorous relationship? And the reality of it is no, I have not. Will I be in one? Absolutely. Have I experienced, have I had introductions to them? 3 different occasions.
wow.
And the first occasion was on it was a couple, 2 guys, and I used to date one of them, and I came back around and I fell in love with him, and I was like, the only way I felt that I could be with both of them is to, you know, to be with him is to be with both of them.
Right.
And I was introduced to that, talked to them, they said, let's do it, and the night that we were supposed to all get together and have sex, I ended up sleeping with his best friend instead. Like
content,
that is the story. That's my story, and I can write about that. Right here we are. Now we have Mary Kill.
Right.
Then the second time I was with it was a guy and a female. He was dating her, and he was dating me, and he wanted all 3 of us to meet and be as one. And
I have a question.
there.
How many years ago was this?
This is recent.
This is like in the last year or so.
Not last year or so.
Okay.
This was in the past
2 years.
2 to 3 years.
Okay.
So I was dating him, and then he was talking about her. I love women. I met her, and I was like, not feeling this energy.
Oh wow.
She was a beautiful girl, but it just wasn't for me.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to like, and it was just conversation. It's just like this. We're sitting and we're having conversation, and I'm like, the energy isn't working for me.
Right.
But and I was a tad bit uncomfortable because of the vibe that I was getting from her.
Right.
The other one is that I was in a full relationship with a female, and she knew about my dealings with men, and she said, do what you want. I was dating over here with this gentleman, and it was getting serious, and I was like, I want to be with the both of you. And I presented this relationship. He said, absolutely not. I said, well, I'm not leaving her. And I did not know that he was in love with me.
Wow.
And he actually turned to drugs.
Wow. As a result of that pain. Wow.
And so, yeah, like, so this is really like where one would think that this is, maybe you would think that this is your story being told out. It really is, you know, mine.
Right.
And
but
what
we've
does this
always
look
related
like?
on different topics like this.
Yeah,
Me and you have, for years, and I want to make sure I say that, for years we've had conversations, and there's times you'd be like, Mike, I can relate to what you're saying.
Right.
You were always that balanced voice, which I was always surprised, but you always were. And so I totally get what you're saying, 100%.
Right. And so we connect, Mike and I connect more than you even, or we can even lead on. Like, I am a mirror image. We are a mirror image.
We're so much alike.
We're so much alike.
Which explains why there was just that connection between your best friend and me and your best friend and you, because we were all, like, it was eerie almost. It was like, whoa.
Yeah. So, but the project itself, that all brought me to Marry, Kill. What would this look like if two couples naturally, just genuinely started hanging out, and it was being proposed that we should be in this relationship?
That's why I love it. I'm telling you.
So they literally, literally, because from my understanding, when this is released, the episode would have come out already. This week's episode would have come out, so I can tell, like, it's being proposed, right? That we should be in a polyamorous relationship. And what does these two over here are like thinking about it, but the partners don't know anything about it. Right. So now let's tell our partners and see if we can come to a common ground. Like, can we all do this? Right. Because we have spent so many months of dating and just hanging out, and just having fun. It's like we're dating. Right. So it's like, why not? Like, I'm got love for you. Right. And we used to have something.
They were a familiar situation that was safe. And see, that's what I was, so I was on the treadmill and I was watching it, right? And I was like, I'm not gonna say what I wanna say, but I wish me and you would have had this conversation a long time ago. Dead ass. Dead ass, dead ass, dead ass, dead ass, dead ass.
So, yeah. That's the project. That's Fuck, Marry, Kill. That brings
because
us
that's
to
reality.
Yeah, it is people's reality. It does not work for everybody, right?
But for a lot of people.
And I just even name what I'm seeing in this newer generation. That the sex is so open and free, and just and all of that. It's like you have a lot of open relationships, polyamorous relationships. It's like, why am I going to sit here and commit to you and then cheat on you? Why cheat on you?
Exactly.
Why cheat?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But I know for me and my my situation, I had to figure out what that problem was. Right. Why couldn't I be with just one person? That was my story.
Right. Some of us are just not built that way, and it takes a very hard breaking to be able to go through accepting the fact that you're built different than a lot of people act like they really are. Like now that I'm in a polyamorous relationship, it is like, damn, why did I not have all of this before? Why did I not do this before? Why did it? Exactly.
That's what most people.
No, I
was
didn't
fearful.
even know that you were in a polyamorous
Yeah.
relationship. Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, then, this story got you. Like,
But you do know that for a long time I did beg that in my other situation though. I begged for that. I asked and asked and asked and asked. And it just never got to that place until after that relationship was over. Then the door was open for that to actually happen. So it was
let's see how the series turn out. What that looks like when two people get into the polyamorous relationship.
Yeah, but I think for me, polyamory can work when there's complete honesty. And
It's all about consent.
Exactly, and without the fear of the other person walking away if the other person actually reveals what they really want and who they really are.
Most people, and this is from years ago before people started stepping up to admit to being polyamorous. Most people feel, and I think someone even said this in the comment, that your marriage wouldn't work because of The one thing that I want people to understand, and this is one of my teachable moments, you have to live your life for you.
Right.
Stop feeling like you have to put on a front for other people because, and I'll break it down. If you have a guy friend or girlfriend that you're close to, and they're talking to you and they're complaining about their significant other or the person that they're dating, and you say, well, girl or guy, I would leave them. Then you get in that situation and you stay.
Right.
And your friend is looking at you like, but you told me to. So stay in your lane. Stop feeling like you have to give specific advice and give general advice as to help the person. They can find their own lane.
Right.
They can find their own way. Just give them general advice as to what it is. And so I'm saying that because, with Mocha and I, people kept coming to us about you. Well, Mike does this not. And my husband and I literally just had this conversation on the way home last night. And I said, people like to judge Mike. I don't. Because your life is yours. You have to walk in your own shoes. I can't even fit your shoes. So I'm not even trying to. But our friendship goes deeper than that. It's not what you do when you're home or what you do whenever you are, wherever you are. When we're here, we're here. And I really want people to just stop feeling like they have to walk on eggshells or be something that they're not, because that's why it took you so long to find happiness, because you were trying to please other people. And I didn't even know you were even considering that situation. But I mean, I'm glad that you're able to admit it, so that maybe Mr. Right or Mr. Right or Mr.
Because Will's
right.
fine now. We got to give it to him. Will's fine. That he fine now. But that's why I love this series, because I don't know how it ends yet. I have been given a little bit of insight on a few things, but I don't know how it ends. But I do know that it is a lot of people's story. When I started becoming very public about being polyamorous, I can't tell you the number of people that have come to me, like all over this world, and was like, thank you. Because me and my partners, our relationship was saved because we were finally able to, like, okay, Mike is actually saying this, and like, you're bringing that subject, to the forefront. Couples here in Atlanta, business owners, people who are doing great things, they've come to me like, thank you for doing that. That's why I think your show is so important. Now, again, I don't know how it ends, but there is a bright side to that as well when it's right.
Absolutely. And I just kind of feel like, and that's with all the work that I've done. Like, I've had people come to me afterwards in the comments and so forth, like, thank you for telling this story. Thank you for, this has helped me.
Right.
And that's my goal. And I think my mission when I go to write and that is telling stories that are relatable, that we can have this conversation about. Right. This is a conversation piece.
Right.
I remember doing a small premiere of this for the cast, which I just want to shout out my cast. The Regis Bell, Jonathan Bryant, Terrence Styles, Bakari Schumann, amazing actors.
Yeah, Bakari's good too. Yeah.
My co-stars, they did such a great job bringing it all together. I just want to shout out the entire cast of Fuck, Marry, Kill, because you brought my vision to life, and thank you. But I believe in telling these stories to be able to say, like, this is a conversation. We should have more of it. And I remember, like I said, what I was saying, we were doing a cast screening of it, and we had some people there that, you know, never said each person could bring a guest. Conversation was phenomenal afterwards. Like, who was your favorite character? What does this really mean? What this topic, like the topic itself, why did this character do it? Did you see, and it was little nuances that the characters do that you need to pay attention to. You need to pay attention to the little nuances that the characters are bringing in this, because they're telling a story without saying anything. If I simply go like this, that means something, right?
That means that my husband's watching and you probably finna get you.
See? It means something.
I promise you, he watched all these. Lord, he was just demonstrating.
Right.
I was just demonstrating. Yes,
Right.
but that makes makes sense. Yes. So that's my point. Like, pay attention to the storyline and the characters, because they are telling stories. They are acting their asses off.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're
awesome.
acting their asses off. And I'm really excited. I actually have another interview later, and it's with the full cast. And I'm curious to know would any of them be in. That would be my question to the cast, because I never asked them. You know, would you be in a polyamorous relationship? You know what I mean? Considering that that's the question that is on the table right now.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think your show does a great job of creating that. Okay, so before I ask this other question, I want to make sure I ask you this. Okay, so, I've heard about a little sex scene coming out. Okay.
Jesus.
But this is how I normally act.
I know it, but I don't want it loud.
So my homeboy Tone, he reached out to me. He said, Mike, he said, listen, me and you have been friends for years. He's like, I want to let you know what's going on and tell you about this particular scene. And so, without giving the whole scene away, because I heard the sex scene is a powerful sex scene, should it be on OnlyFans?
Yes.
Okay.
So So Horism, let me just start with this. When I started, so a lot of the work that I do is very highly sexual. And again, I do sex with a purpose,
right.
Intent, right? I don't just have sex to have sex. There are people who are content creators,
right.
who do sex scenes that doesn't make sense to the story. Like, what's the purpose of this? Right? I do it with a purpose. And Horism is a complete display of them finding love through sex.
Right.
Like, thinking that, okay, I gotta have sex with this person and this person, you know, learning lessons through sex.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I've been writing like that for the longest time and filming like that, and I was even told, like, you should film porn, like, you're really good at this. And it looks so believable. We always get the comment, were you hard? Did they get, you know, did your actors getting turned off? It's all acting. I'm just good at the cuts and the tight shots and all of that. And so there is a sex scene that is in Where Killed that I had to edit down in order for it to be put onto YouTube. And I'm still gonna have to, like, put up, you know, provisions, because I don't want to, you know, let you know, anything bad to happen. But yeah, I was really thinking maybe I should put the director's cut on you know, my website, and people could pay like $2 or $3 to see the full version, or you know, whatever. I was thinking about that because it is a very intense scene.
Do not want to see it. I do not, and I will not be watching that scene.
Well, I will.
Okay.
I will, because I've had those experiences. So.
But I believe also that the sex scene tells a story.
Right.
There is a story being told through the body movement, it's telling a story.
Right.
And so, again, I do sex with intent and purpose. So, I really think that, you know, it works, you know, for it. It's just not having sex.
It's just not there to be there. Right. Definitely. Do you have another question?
I just don't want to watch Tone on screen. doing it.
Tone is sexy though.
That is my child.
Oh yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting you're his gay dad. You're Uncle Clifford, you're the daddy.
So
right.
So let me just be clear, and no one said that Tone was having sex, did I? Did I say that? He mentioned that there's a sex scene, so we're just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, no. We're
gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, he was just telling me about a sex scene.
Yes, we're just gonna leave it at that.
Right.
Not necessarily.
He was just being my friend, making sure I wasn't like. But actually, when he told me, I was like, listen, nigga, I have been on here on OnlyFans, on Twitter, killing it. So I'm okay, child. People see me, I can see them. It's all good. So what is next for you?
So next, I have a project called Semen.
Oh.
And Semen is going to be released on Valentine's Day.
Okay.
Yes. And Semen is
Spelled how?
SSSEMEN.
Okay. All right.
It's multiple S's. The same way, you know.
There's a method behind your madness. We got it.
Exactly.
That is so dope.
But I'm really excited about the Semen project because I got an opportunity to partner with Red Brand here in Atlanta, and I'll never forget. He was taking me out to for my birthday, just to lunch and just have conversation, and I just told him the vision. He not seeing none of my work, not like don't know me from a can of paint. Just introduced me on a I was introduced to him on a humble, and it just be like, I want to work with you on that project.
Wow.
That made me feel so honored that my visions, like that me just sharing my vision with you was enough.
Right.
It was that powerful, and you were that taken aback by the story that you were like, I want to work with you.
Right.
So that really touched me, and I'm really excited about this project because it's a collaboration with Red Brand, and yo, listen.
We're excited.
Listen.
I don't know about that Red Brand now. I'm just kidding. I don't know about that Red Brand.
I don't know why he do that.
Oh, man.
Listen.
That's what's up.
Red Brand is amazing, and
Yes, my girlfriend. She is.
Yeah. He's done some amazing.
Been that edit that out.
Yeah, he's done some amazing work and projects and things of that nature, and I'm really excited to be partnered with him on this project. And yeah, the catch is Semen will be released on Valentine's Day.
Okay.
Yeah, Semen will be released on Valentine's Day.
It sure will.
All Valentine's night.
All night. You can watch it. And listen, you can watch it at any point.
Okay. Now
Anytime.
will that be on YouTube? Have you considered? And I was going to ask you. Actually, I've been wanting to ask you this. This is just the right time. Have you considered just making an OnlyFans for your movies?
So the truth is that my movies are not everything I do is I'm moving away from the sex.
Mm-hmm.
As I have, seeked my own counsel for my own issues as it pertains to that, I have, grown in a space of how can I do this without being so sexualized. Everything is hyper sexualized nowadays, and I've seen it. I've been there, I've done that. I did it before, a lot of these content creators even started.
That's true.
So I was like, okay, done that. Like, what's next?
Right.
And so for me, with my new brand, which is King Liam Presents. That is the new brand. And with King Liam Presents, I want to be all about storytelling. Now, is Semen about sex?
I mean,
it's called Semen. Like, duh. but it's a different story for me.
Okay.
Like I've never done anything like it. I can't even begin to tell you what you're going to finish watching it and be like, what the hell did I just watch?
wow.
Because I was like that. Semen is just different. It was fun. It was a great storyline, and it was just different from anything that I've done. The project after that, and that I'm currently working on and writing right now, is called The Realness Behind the Crown. It is, now what I've learned and seen here in Atlanta is that they do a lot of reality shows and things of that nature, and so I wanted to do a more adult gay version of in a realities rim. So it's hard to put this all together because it's a scripted reality show, right? So it's going to be more of a filming a film being filmed,
Right.
if that makes sense.
Like The Office.
Right, and so very much like The Office, and so there's going to be moments of trying to touch on all little Atlanta Housewives. I really want to do our intro very very clean, very crisp, and the gentlemen are going to be holding crowns. Instead of, when, the peach and the champagne glasses and the icicles or whatever they did in Utah or whatever that is. I don't know. What is it? Salt Lake City or whatever.
Right.
Anywho.
They have snowflakes,
right? So they're going to be all holding crowns. I have my 6 Kingz. We did our first table read yesterday and hilarious. I am super excited about this project. Again, another project that I'll be partnering with Ray Brand on, and I'm super excited about that because this is going to take it to the next level. Honestly, I do, and this is the first series that I've done since Willology.
Wow. Okay.
Everything else had been limited. I want to just do a couple episodes. Done.
Right.
This is going to be a continuous thing that I kind of flesh out, again with good story lines and whatnot, but there will be moments of reality and improv and a lot of things that are coming directly from their mouths. A lot of the confessionals are all made up by them. A lot of the, situations are real life situations that people have gone through and dealt with. So, you may see yourself again in one of these projects. I don't know. But people can relate to the situations and the stories. And that's what it's all about. It's about giving really good storytelling that people can say, oh my God, that was me. That's me. Or I've been in a situation like this. Or I have a friend that's going through this. Or how did they resolve this situation? And that might be a good resolve for me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm all about that right now with this new brand. And I'm excited.
I think as a writer, a content creator, it is very important to have relatable topics because, as I said, I'm a songwriter. I write too, but I'm a songwriter. So when I'm writing songs, I'm writing them based on stories that I've heard from people or things that I've been through, and it makes for the most heartfelt situation. So when you're creating content, you're creating it from the heart. It gives off a different vibe.
Definitely.
So I say keep doing what you're doing because the table read was funny.
Yeah.
Well, we're definitely looking forward to seeing you in this project.
But we're going to see now because my role real small. No, I'm just kidding.
There are no small.
No, it's really not small.
But no, we're
doing
super
a whole
excited.
lot up in this piece, so don't even.
Oh yeah, we're used to it now.
No, he's talking about in the
Oh, you mean in the Okay. And Seaman, you in Seaman too?
No,
What to
say?
say?
I'm
What?
talking about the.
I'm like, your husband let you in Seaman. I'm just playing.
Oh hell no!
But Will, thank you so much again. We want everybody to support Mary Kill. They can find it on YouTube. We will actually have the link from this video inside so that you'll be able to go and start from the beginning episode. So you all are 4 episodes in?
Yeah. So by the time this would be
Okay.
we'll be at our 4th episode.
And it airs
every Wednesday.
yeah.
And normally drop it around between 4 and 5 o'clock every Wednesday.
Please make sure that you subscribe. Follow him on social media. What is your social media?
So Instagram is Mary Kill, Fukc, Mary Kill, and my YouTube is King Liam Presents. I also have King Liam Presents on Instagram, where I just put pictures of all of my content and that I work on. So yeah, thank you guys for having me. I do appreciate it.
This was right.
It was informative for me as well.
Yeah, it was right, and it needed to happen. We were when I heard about the project, I knew that I wanted to do this. I didn't know how it could happen, but I'm just glad that it did.
I didn't think it would happen.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna cry, but he made it through.
He did.
He made it through.
I did. All right, everyone. Please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. We want to hear from you. The only thing that we ask we'll ask it again, is that you all just keep your comments respectful. We will hear you. We will take those things into consideration. And if you all notice, we have been listening.
Yeah, we have been. And that is the one thing that you have to understand. A conversation
Right.
is what we're having here. A conversation is what you have with us in the comments. So if you have that conversation, you will understand that we do listen. Because they said something about you correcting something, and one guy came to my defense and he said, well, if you notice, Enrique will go back and watch an episode and then come. So we will, because we're filming, we just talking.
Right.
We don't know, so yeah, stop attacking us, because I can give you these hands.
No, but I have to say this. In this particular episode, I had to make sure that I was way more quiet than what I normally am.
In what particular talk?
This one.
No, you didn't.
I talked.
Yeah.
But let me finish. Thank you. Because I actually had an event before, and I invited Liam, and it went totally left. Not with him. It went totally left because we started talking about a whole different subject. So I owed you this. I owed you the opportunity to just come and talk without me interrupting. And I mean, I needed to ask questions.
No.
But
So
you
if I could just say, that's very big of you. 1, 2, I was ready. I was ready for you, Michael Hurd. I need you to be known on camera. I was ready for thee, Michael Hurd, because I know that we are so much alike. It's ridiculous. So I'm telling you, I was so sitting in this red chair, which is my favorite color, and I was ready for you, right? So whatever you were going to bring, I was ready to, answer. It's all transparency, and truth is, at the end of the day, it's all love. Right. Regardless of what goes on or whatever the case may be, like, there is a connection that I have with you that I don't think that you quite get.
I understand it more now than what I did
We all
before.
have to grow and
Right.
learn and grow, right?
And eat.
And
Go ahead, finish.
on that note,
Right.
I'm gonna get the baby some food.
Right.
What we about to eat?
But no, you're serious. That's very, very true. And I know at this stage in my life, I have up enough. So that's why I'm just in a different place. But I appreciate you coming, and I'm glad that you're here. And I'm looking so forward to all of your projects coming up. Tomorrow I'm gonna be on a flight somewhere, and I'll be looking at watching your episode as well. And I don't really comment.
You should.
But I definitely
Open the
support
conversation
it.
up. Like, honestly, like at the end of the day, that's what I miss the most about my old YouTube channels, because I had so many subscribers, and it was like just having to rebrand and rebuild is just it's so challenging and difficult.
Get there, though.
But I used to love the comments, because they literally would have conversations with one another about things that are going on in the episode, and I'm just like, I love it. You know what I mean? So I open up the conversation. I always chime in whenever, is this really what you think? Well, just stay tuned, because, things may be a little different than what you think. You know what I mean? So thank you again for this platform, to be able to showcase, what I have going on.
Definitely. Well, we're definitely going to invite you back again. We're in a season of healing, man. And I just, like, at the end of the day, I just want to be healed. I want to be healed with everybody. And I think we all grow and we all learn. And we see things differently, and we can always learn from each other. All right, listen, everybody, make sure, again, that you follow us all on social media. We appreciate you all tuning in this conversation, and we look forward to hearing from you.